Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is a recording of a class given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It's from Canto 1, Chapter 7, texts 28 and 29. And we request that in such recordings, sometimes the volume is low, so if you can kick up the volume on your listening devices, that would help yourself and everybody. Hare Krishna. And after that, we'll have some discussion. Krishna Katha. Without further ado, we'll start the class right now. Hare Krishna.
As a matter of fact, asmatejasa, by the influence of your weapon.
O Arjuna, only another Brahmastra can counteract this weapon. Since you are expert in the military science, subdue this weapon's flare with your own weapon. Suta Goswami.
Vacha.
After hearing.
Bhagavata.
By the personality of Godhead.
Prabhupada. What was said. Bhavana. Another name is Sri Arjuna. Radhavira. The killer of the opposing warriors. Sprishva. After touching. Abaha. Water. Tam. Him. Parikramya. Circumambulating. Ram. The Supreme Lord. Brahmastram. The Supreme Weapon. Sandade. Acted on.
Translation. Sri Goswami said, hearing this from the personality of Godhead, Arjuna touched water for purification, and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one.
नहीं यस्या अन्नतमं किंचित असंप्रत अवकर्षणम दध्यास्त तेज अन्य नमस्तभ्य अस्त तेजसा सूतोवाच श्रुत्या भगवता प्रोक्तम फाल्गुन परवीरः पृष्ठ्यापस्तं परिक्रम्य ब्राह्मं ब्रह्मास्त्र संददे. So, counteraction. This is military science. Samveda, Jajurveda, Sarvaveda, and military science also, one of the part of the Veda, Dhanurveda. It is called Dhanurveda. How to utilize Dhanu. Dhanu means bow and arrow. Similarly, Ayurveda. Ayurveda means medical science. How to protect the Ayu. Because the body is perishable. So, in the Vedic knowledge, everything is there to guide the human society. It is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Nigama kalpatarur golitam phalamidam. Nigama means Veda, and that is kalpataru. Nigama kalpataru galitam phalamidam. It is compared with a tree. What kind of tree? Desert. Nigama kalpataru, kalpataru. Kalpataru, it can be found in the spiritual world, not in this material world. The spiritual world is described in the Brahma Samhita. What is that? Kalpataru. Chintamani. Kalpataru. Chintamani prakara sadamasu kalpataru. In the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan is described that the houses, palaces in that land, spiritual land, Golok Vrindavan, is made of Chintamani. Chintamani kalpatarur. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpatarur. Surabhi ravipalayantam. Lakshmi sahasra sata sambrama sevamanam. Govindam adipurusam tamaham bhaja. So kalpataru means whatever you want, you can get from that tree. Because everything is spiritual. For example, we can give you that you are a spiritual being, I am also a spiritual being. If I say, bring me a glass of water, he'll bring. Give me some fruit, he'll give me. Bring this, he'll bring. Because you are spirit soul, you can supply me whatever I want. This is the spiritual idea. Not that I wanted a glass of water, you can supply me a glass of water only. No. If I want other things, you can supply me. This is an example, crude example. So, when there is no material obstacles, then the spiritual world can be utilized for any purpose. Here, because we are covered with the material body, there are two energies. It is described in the Bhagavad Gita, material energy and spiritual energy. Bhumirāpanalo vāyu khangamano buddhiriva. This is material energy. And Krishna says, aparayam. This is inferior. Apara. Itastu viddhi me prakritim para. There is another superior energy. What is that superior energy? Living. It is not dead. Jiva bhuta mahamaya jayedam dhājati jagat. Without spiritual energy, this whole universe is useless. Anywhere you go. The modern scientists, they are going to, so-called, they are going to this planet, that planet, and they do not find any spiritual energy. They simply see the material energy, sand and rocks. That cannot, because they can bluff, because people are not aware of the whole science. They can bluff. In this material world, there are two energies working, material and spiritual. There cannot be only material. There must be spiritual energy. So, they say that there is no light, that means there is no spiritual work, spiritual energy. It cannot be accepted. It cannot be. It is out of question. Because here we find Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Jayedam Dharjati Jagat. There must be living entity who is conducting this material energy. This body is very beautiful, very useful. Why? Because the spiritual energy, the soul is there. Otherwise it has no value. So when there is a planet, when there are other things, how it has developed? This is a reasoning. This is sense. Because the material energy cannot develop without spiritual energy. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho jaya idam dharjati jagat. There cannot be anything material without spiritual energy. What is this body? How this body came into existence? Because the spiritual energy, the soul is there. A dead child born, it will not grow because the spiritual energy is not there. So it has to be concluded that as soon as there is a manifestation of the material energy, there must be spiritual energy. It cannot. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that this whole cosmic manifestation is combination of material energy and spiritual energy. So, therefore in the Vedas, Veda means knowledge. Vetti Veda Vidajnana. In the Sanskrit bhar, Vidhat. Vidhat means knowledge, to know. Vetti Veda Vidajnane Vinte Vid Vicharan. Labhe Vindati Vindate. Vidhatu. Some Vidhatu, the Veda has come. Veda means knowledge. So from the Vedas, you can have all different types of knowledge, namely material knowledge and spiritual knowledge, both, perfectly. Because we have now forgotten our spiritual energy, we do not cultivate spiritual energy, therefore the bell is there. In the Chaitanya Chaitamrita, in simple Bengali language, it is said, Anadhi Bohimukh Jeev Krishna Bhuli Gela Atay Krishna Ved Purana Karila. Because these rascals, Anadi Bohimukh, do not know, just like this bird chirping, but he does not know what he is, where from he is coming, where to go, nothing. There is low-grade life. So, we are now forgetful of our spiritual energy, and because we do not know spiritual energy, therefore we have no knowledge of God. This is our position, and it is coming since very, 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 very long time immemorial. Therefore, the Vedas are there. Anat Bahirmukh Jeev Krishna Bhuli Gela Ataev Krishna Veda Purana Karila. So we have to utilize the Veda Purana. The Veda Purana is here in India. It is not for India, it is meant for the whole universe. But still it is available in India. That is India's special position. Indian civilization is not very much interested with the four-wheeled civilization. India is interested in spiritual cultivation, Veda Purana. So, this science, as it is mentioned here, Unnat Astragya. So Arjuna was expert in military science, and still he was a devotee. It is not that only a Brahmana with very clean cloth and clean habit, Satta Sauchabhyam. Brahmana's first qualification is truthfulness and cleanliness. sattva sauchabhya. This is the first qualification. Samadama titikha arjava jnanam vijnanam astikkam brahma karma sabhavajam tyagena sattva sauchabhya jamena niyamena va. So, this is Brahmanical qualification, but there are others also. That is Kshatriya. He is expert in the military science, how to kill. So the killing art is there. You cannot make it null and void by advocating non-violence. No, that is required. Violence is also a part of the society. Just like here is some eating sensation, this is violence. It is required for the comfort. So similarly, Arjuna was Kshatriya. He knew the art of killing, and still Krishna also, he appeared as a Kshatriya in the dynasty of Kshatriyas. Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva, he also knew the art of killing. That is also one of the part of his business. Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata paritranayam sadhuna vinasaya duskrita. So vinas requires violence. So we cannot decry violence. That is also required. Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita, the science of God, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. We cannot condemn violence, that is not possible. But there is no violence in the spiritual world. That is a fact. Violence is only in the material world. Therefore, when Krishna desired to fight, because all desires are coming from him, janmadasya jataha, anything that we have got experience, everything is there in God. Therefore he is God. Not that minus something. Nothing minus, everything. Akila rasamrita sindhu, raso vaisa. These are the Vedic injunctions. He is the reservoir of all rasa, human or mellow. So, this is also a mellow. Sometimes cruel men, they take pleasure by killing. I have seen it. One hotel man was cutting the throat of one chicken, the half cut, and it was sobbing, jumping. His child was crying because he could not see such horrible scene. And the man, the hotel man, he was laughing and pacifying. He said, "Why you are crying? Just see how he is throwing, how he is jumping." So, one subject matter, the rasa is different, human is different. He is enjoying one rasa, the father, and the child is crying. That is also another rasa. So the whole world is full of rasa. Adi rasa. The sex life is called Adi rasa. There is Vibhasa rasa, Hasya rasa, Karuna rasa, Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sakha rasa, Shanta rasa. There are so many rasas, 12 rasas. Annaya Vatirek, Adi rasa. So, Janmadasya jataha, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described this Adi from Adiras. Adiras means the conjugal love. That is called Adiras. So, Janmadasya Jataha, where from the Adiras come, the attraction between man and woman, there is a fact. The attraction is there in everywhere. Either human society or animal society or bird society, beast society, the attraction is there. Pungsa sriya mithuni bhavametat. This whole world is existing on mithuni bhava, sex. Janamaithunadi grihameli sukham mitucham. These things are there. So where from it comes? This Adiras. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described in his comment on Srimad Bhagavatam in the beginning that Krishna is the origin of Adiras, Janmadasya. From there, this Adiras is generated. That is Radha Krishna. So everything is there. Otherwise, imperfectness. So, as there is Adiras, Krishna is enjoying with the gopis and Radharani. Similarly, he enjoys with Vibhassaras, Veeraras, killing. Killing is also Veeraras, because he is the reservoir of all rasas. So, Janmadasya Jataha. So, do not think that this violence or fighting is bad. No, nothing is bad when it is utilized for Krishna. And nothing is good when it is utilized for your sense gratification. Everything is bad. Here, Krishna ordered that this is Brahmastra. He could not understand that intolerable temperature, heat, and Arjuna inquired where from the heat is coming. So Krishna informed him that this is due to Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama. This rascal does not know how to counteract it. Naivasu Veda Sangharam. He does not know. Formerly the military science, you have released one kind of arrow. If I am expert, then I can release another arrow which will counteract your arrow. Naivasu Veda Sanghara. It is called Sanghara. So, Ashwatthama released that Brahmastra. Now, Krishna advised Arjuna that you release these Sangharas, how to counteract. Unnadhyam Astravyam. Unnadhyam. You know better than him how to counteract. He, Astratejasa, by another different astras are released by different expert military men. So that science is not yet discovered. By mantra, just like here it is said that he took water, Pristya apastang parikramya, just like we take Namo apavitra pavitra va sarva avastang gato viva. Similarly, mantra and water can be utilized for very, very important purpose. simply mantra and water. So this is the science. This is called subtle science, not gross. They have discovered this atomic weapon. They require so many chemicals. But when you come to the higher stage, subtle, then mantra and water will do. Nothing more. No more chemicals. Simply mantra and water. That is yet you have to learn. But these things are there in the Vedas. If you are a serious student of Veda, you can also learn. You can also fight like Arjuna. There is no difficulty. Therefore, Krishna says, Shastrajna, Unnata, Unnadhyam Astrajna. You can also become learned in the higher science of military art, and you can also utilize, but that requires brain, good brain. That is not possible now because the culture is lost. Now everyone is Shudra. Nobody is Kshatriya, nobody is Brahmana. By the time, Kalu Shudra Sambhava, the Shudras cannot learn all these. Because Shudras have no right to understand Vedic knowledge. It is meant for the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas. Even not for the Vaishyas. Striya Vaishya Tatha Shudra. They are rejected. Women and Vaishya and Shudra. Krishna says, Striya Vaishya Tatha Shudra. But Krishna says, Tepi Janti Parangatim. Even women and Shudra and Vaishya, low grade, they can also get Parangatim, promotion to the transcendental world. How? Maghi Partha Vapasritya Jepishu Papajunga. If you take to Krishna consciousness, then in these low grade born persons, beginning from Sriya Shudra Vaishya down Chandalas, Chandalas means less than the Chanda. Kirata Hunanda Pulinda Pukkusa, they are Chandalas. Kirata means the black clan or the Africans. So they are called Kirata. Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pukkusa, Avira, Sumba, Javana, Khasad. Javana, Khasad are Mongolians without any monstrosities. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pukkusa, Avira, Sumba, Javana, Khasad. Jenne cho Papa. Even there are still more low-grade sinful society. Jenne cho Papa. Jad upasraya sraya. If he takes the shelter of a pure devotee, Siddhanti becomes purified. Becomes purified. How? Siddhanti? Because Prabha Vishnave Nama. Lord Vishnu has got so exalted power that through his devotee he can purify anyone, never mind even one happens to be Chandala, and what to speak of others. King Puna Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajasayastata. If they can be delivered, then what to speak? Those who are Brahmanas. Brahmana means punya. Without having background of pious activities, nobody can take birth in rich family, in Brahmana family. Nobody can become highly learned person. Nobody can become beautiful. Janma Aishajya Sutasri. They are the action, reaction of punya. It's just the opposite is papa. So everyone, there is no question of papi or purna. If anyone takes shelter of Krishna, Manghipatha Vyapasitya, Jipishu Papajana, it doesn't matter. Everyone can be elevated to the transcendental position of Krishna consciousness. So, this movement is there. Take advantage of it and elevate your life and finish the material trouble, dukkhanam asasatam. It is only simply full of miseries and temporary. This business must be stopped. And jadgatyana nivattanti tadhamam paramam mama. Simply by going back to home, back to Godhead, your all problems of life will be solved. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So again, wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So many points to pick from it, so many takeaways. And the word is, please unmute yourself if you feel so inclined to pick up or comment on what you picked up from this lecture. It's a very nice, very, very, very nice lecture. Canto 1, Chapter 7, text 28 and 29. Wonderful combination there, where Krishna is telling Arjuna, when Arjuna is confused about all the glare coming from the Brahmastra, and he said, you also can counteract the Brahmastra, you should do that. And Arjuna obeyed Krishna. So anyway, without going into further details about it, you've heard it too, as I have. And please unmute yourself, ask questions, share realizations, and also share some takeaways. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Yeah, as usual, Srila Prabhupada's lectures are pretty amazing. And every time I hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures, it makes me get, more and more in awe how much Srila Prabhupada is so convinced that when he was speaking about the material energy and the spiritual energy, with full conviction and faith, he was saying that when there's material energy, there must be spiritual energy.
Mm-hmm.
With such conviction, he was saying, and I was just feeling that conviction in his voice. And I said, whoa, I was thinking that, that is why Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya, because he completely has full faith and belief in Krishna's words. And how he was saying that even when he was speaking about, the verses about Arjuna being glared by the Brahmastra, what's coming to my mind is how everything in this world is so temporary. It's like chanchal, it's like it's a fleeting moment, 1 minute to the next, or 1 second to the next, or 1 hour to the next, 1 minute it's good, next minute it's misery. And I was just, really appreciating how Srila Prabhupada is always reminding us that as long as we are too comfortable in this material world, we're going to continue facing miseries. We're going to continue facing miseries. And if we really want to be free from it, then we have to take this Krishna consciousness so seriously. So that was my takeaway from Prabhupada's lecture. Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful takeaway. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, of other takeaways, to please unmute yourself and join in the conversation. This is wonderful. We all can learn from our takeaways and from what Srila Prabhupada has said. So please unmute yourself and be part of this. Hare Krishna. Okay. So while people are thinking about theirs, I will talk about my takeaways. Srila Prabhupada talked about the different parts of the Vedas. and then he mentioned the 4 parts of the Vedas, Atharva, Yajur, Sama, and it goes on. And then he mentioned the military science, Danu Veda. Danu means bows and arrows. And then he also talked about things in the spiritual world. Houses are made of chintamani, which is touchstone. Kalpataru. Kalpataru means desire trees. And they are also in the spiritual world. It means whatever you want, the tree will give you. So in the spiritual world, there are no obstacles. Because there are no obstacles can be used for any purpose, which means whatever we want. There's no obstacles there. Material energy is inferior. Without spiritual energy, this whole universe is useless. Srila Prabhupada is saying. There must be spiritual energy. The material energy cannot come into being without spiritual energy. We explained that one. And he gave an example of a child. A child is born. If the child is dead, then the child cannot grow. The material energy is there in the child, but the child cannot grow if the spiritual energy is not there. The soul is not there. So the universe exists because the spiritual energy is there along with the material energy. So he went to that kind of explanation. And it says Arjuna was a Kshatriya, but he was also a Brahmana. Of course, he was Krishna conscious, so that makes him a Brahmana. And he was Kshatriya by training. So Brahmana is Satya Suchabhyam, truthful and clean. And then he went to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 42, to list all of the qualities of Brahmanas. The Kshatriya is trained to fight. In the material world, there's violence. We cannot rule out violence. In the spiritual world, there's no violence. But in the material world, there is. Everything is there in God. Then he talked about some people taking pleasure in killing. And this that's also another ras. So, Vira ras, he called it. And then he gave an example of this hotel man who had a chicken, who was going to kill the chicken, and his child was crying. But he was enjoying killing the chicken, and he was telling the child, why are you crying? Of course, the child was not used to that kind of violence, but that is there, using that as an example to explain how that is also a ras, vira ras. Then there's adi ras, sex life. The whole world is operating on adi ras, attraction between men and women. But all rases originate from Krishna. From the spiritual world, the original adi ras is there, Krishna, Radharani, the gopis. That ras is definitely there. Anyway, so then he went to that after they came back to Krishna asking Arjuna to counteract the Brahmastra. We can also fight like Arjuna. We use mantra and water. In other words, he says it's available, that type of knowledge, if we want to take to it, we can. And it's a subtle type weapons that can be invoked that way, including the Brahmastra. Using the mantra and water. And it says sometimes we can purify ourselves, Om Pavitra, Pavitrava, Savavastam, Gato Priva, Yasmaret, Pundarikaksham, like that. To be clean. And that's the mantra that is said along with water. We do that, those who go on the altar, we have to do that and say that particular mantra, and then get on to serve the deities. But this is lost because many people are shooters now. Because Srila Prabhupada has basically come to tell us and to deliver us, literally, from this low stage that we're in. And with the mantra, some of them have been introduced as a lot, but introduced very, very important ones so that we can go on with the society. He says the movement is here. Take advantage of it and elevate our lives, get away from Papa, this whole sinful type lifestyle. And if we take to that, then anyone can take to it. Whether you're from the and he listed a number of people from different parts, from the Black people, the African people, to Mongolian people, all of that. People who are sinful, they're not elevated. But when we take to Krishna consciousness, then we come to the transcendental platform. And that is what this movement is supplying. We take advantage of it and elevate our lives and finish all the material trouble. As it said towards the end, Dukalayam Asashatam, it is temporary and it's also miserable. And the business, we have to stop this business. And then going back home, back to Godhead, all the problems will be solved. So this was very, very instructive for all of us. That's my takeaway. I tried to get as much of it as possible as I always do on Wednesdays. But if there's other comments, we still have another 10 minutes if we can utilize it as we like in Krishna consciousness, or if the questions that have come up in our minds, even if it's not directly related to this, you can ask it so we can have some discussion about it. As you wish. Hare Krishna. So who want to unmute yourself, please do that now. And if you don't feel inclined to speak, that's also all right, as long as we've learned so much from it. We always, always, always good to come. Just coming to hear Srila Prabhupada, that means we're associating with Srila Prabhupada. And that's very, 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 very important. Hearing means associating with them. We don't have to see Srila Prabhupada's body. Srila Prabhupada's left the world. But association with his instruction is also association with him, because that's what he left. 84 books and so many lectures, one of which we learned today. So please keep coming. Tell your friends to come. Give them the information on Zoom so they can also log in and then come and hear and grow from it and realize, because what it does, I was talking to my wife yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that once you listen to these lectures, Srila Prabhupada's lectures over and over and again, you will see the world for what it is. And you're going to plan to get out. You will see that it's actually a miserable place, and also it's temporary. You see things start and go down, people live and then they die, and everything is temporary here and miserable. And we're just trying to manage for our convenience. That's all. But with that understanding, then we take Krishna consciousness seriously through this movement that Srila Prabhupada set up, Lord Chaitanya's movement, and then we can go back home. So that is our business, to get out of the material world and take as many people with us as we can. To keep hearing, always keep hearing. And then we will grow and begin to understand that we need to disconnect from the material world mentally, and then later on, Krishna will take us. Hare Krishna. Any last comments?
I just want to make a quick announcement that tomorrow morning's class is at 7 o'clock in the morning, because it's by His Holiness Chandramauli Swami. So please do make note of it to join us at 7 in the morning tomorrow. He's actually in Mayapur right now attending the meetings. So it'll be at 7 in the morning tomorrow, Thursday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So please do come in and tell your friends too. Anybody that does come in and did not come in today, let them know that the class will start at 7. In Chandramauli Swami class, you don't want to miss it. Hare Krishna. Any last comments? Okay. If not, then thank you very much for coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Go on, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rukmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sarada. Hare Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Hare Krishna. Go on, Srila Prabhupada.